welcome back to another thrilling episode of Power Struggles, the podcast where we take iconic characters from anime, manga, and web novels and pit them against each other in the ultimate who would win scenario. I am your host, the Lionheart, and today's matchup is a clash of evolving, adaptive powerhouses from two incredibly popular series. That's right, we're discussing who would win in a fight between Jin-Woo from Solo Leveling and Ro from ReMonster. Both of these characters are known for their insane abilities to grow stronger and overcome any challenge in their past, but who would ultimately come out on top? Let's break it all down from stats to skills and give our verdict. Now, first up, let's talk about Jin-Woo, the main character from Solo Leveling. For those who aren't familiar, Jin-Woo starts off as one of the weakest humans in his world, but after receiving the power of the system, he becomes one of the most powerful beings on Earth, eventually ascending to the level of the Shadow Monarch, a godlike entity. His power grows exponentially throughout the series, and by the end, he's practically unstoppable. Let's break it down to his stats and abilities. Let's start off with physical strength. Jin-Woo started off as the weakest hunter, but soon gained strength far beyond even the highest ranked S-rank hunters. By the time he reaches his peak, he has superhuman physical strength that allows him to go toe-on-toe with mythical beasts, giants, and even gods. He's capable of destroying powerful enemies with minimal effort. Speed and agility. Jin-Woo is not just strong, but he's fast. He can move at superhuman speeds, almost teleporting across battlefields, and his agility allows him to dodge attacks that would annihilate a lesser opponent. Combined with his combat instincts, he became nearly impossible to hit. And let's talk about the Shadow Army. Perhaps Jin-Woo's most iconic ability is his Shadow Army. He can summon an army of thousands of shadow soldiers, including powerful named figures like Beru, Igris, and Tusk. These shadows are incredibly strong and can overwhelm even the toughest opponents. The more powerful an enemy he kills, the stronger the shadow he can raise. This gives Jin-Woo an endless supply of elite soldiers. Healing and regeneration. Jin-Woo has an enhanced healing abilities, making him nearly invincible in long battles. He can heal from injuries that would normally be fatal to others, but his stamina is nearly limitless thanks to the system's perks. Now let's talk about stealth and assassination skills. His stealth ability is legendary. Jin-Woo can blend into the shadows, become invisible to even the sharpest senses. This gives him the upper hand in ambushes and assassinations attempts. His enemies often don't even realize they're being hunted until it's too late, and then dead. Combat mastery and intelligence. By the end of Solo Leveling, Jin-Woo is a master tactician. He's fought countless battles against both humans and monsters and knows how to exploit his opponent's weaknesses. His battle IQ is through the roof, and his ability to adapt in real time makes him incredibly dangerous. That's our summary for Jin-Woo of Solo Leveling, and as we move on, we will talk about the Goblin King Ro from ReMonster. Now, we're going to shift our focus to him. He is the protagonist of ReMonster. Gabro. I'm so used to saying it by his Goblin and Gabro, so for now I'll just say Gabro. He is a unique character who starts off as a lowly goblin, but quickly evolves into something far more dangerous. His power lies in his ability to absorb the abilities of anything that he eats, which makes him a continuously evolving threat. Let's take a deep dive into what Ro brings to the table. God, I think I'm just gonna start saying Gabro from now on, okay? I'm gonna say Gabro because when he came into the Goblin world, that's basically what he was given by, even though every time he evolves, which I'll get into details, the name would change to Ogro. So for now, I'll just say Gabro because that's where it first started. Gabro's stats and abilities. Let's talk about his physical strength. Gabro starts as a goblin, but through evolution, he rapidly ascends to becoming a hobgoblin, an ogre, and eventually a goblin king. At his peak, Gabro possesses immense physical strength, rivaling and often surpassing the most powerful beings in his world. He's been shown to crush enemies with his bare hands and wield weapons of colossal size and ease. Now, we're going to go to evolution and adaptation. Adaption, really. It's really adaptation. I don't know why I say adaptation, but Gaburo's most significant advantage is his ability to absorb the skills, abilities, and knowledge of any creature he consumes. And that is a scary thing. And I thought that, I thought Sun Eater was scary from My Hero Academia. Whatever he eats, he kind of manifests in his body. Y'all know what I'm talking about on the reference. If he eats a powerful enemy, he immediately gains their powers, and he can integrate them into his combat style. This means that Gaburo is constantly evolving force, getting stronger with each battle. Now let's get on the topic of skills and magic. Gaburo has a vast array of skills and magic that he has acquired over time. These range from elemental manipulation, fire, ice, lightning, to physical powers and enhanced senses. He also has a regeneration abilities and can heal quickly from injuries, similar to Jin-Woo. Now, combat versatility. Gaburo's versatility is perhaps his most dangerous trait. He can fight in both melee and ranged combat, wielding weapons, magic, and even physic attacks. This makes him incredibly difficult to predict or counter. Whatever the situation demands, Gaburo can adapt and turn the tide of battle. Leadership and army. Like Jin-Woo, Gaburo has an army at his command. He leads a diverse group of evolved monsters ranging from goblins to ogres and other powerful creatures. Gaburo's army is not as vast or as overwhelming as Jin-Woo's shadow army, but the creatures that follow him are incredibly strong, and he has the ability to command them strategically. Now, we go to immense willpower and survival instinct. Gaburo is not just physically and magically powerful, he's also incredibly tough mentally. His will to survive and evolve drives him to continuously seek stronger opponents and challenges, making him a relentless and determined fighter. In many ways, his hunger for power is insatiable. Now we're going to get on to the battle breakdown, and I want you to hear this because this is an important thing to get the comparisons between Gaburo and Sung Jin-Woo. So let's get to it. Now that we've gone over the stats and abilities of both contenders, we're going to break it down to battle Sung Jin-Woo, Gaburo might unfold. Both of these characters are incredibly adaptive and continue to grow stronger as the fight progresses, so this would be an intense back and forth battle. Strength versus strength. Physically, both Sung Jin-Woo and Gaburo are powerhouses. Jin-Woo has shown incredible strength by defeating world-level threats and gods, but Gaburo's ability to evolve through consuming powerful enemies would allow him to continuously adapt to Jin-Woo's strength. It's worth noting that while Jin-Woo has a more consistent level of strength, Gaburo's potential to evolve during the fight could eventually close the gap. Let's go on to speed and agility. In terms of speed, Jin-Woo has the advantage. His superhuman speed combined with his stealth abilities means he could strike Gaburo without warning and land critical hits before Gaburo can react. However, Gaburo's ability to evolve might allow him to eventually adapt to Jin-Woo's speed. Still, in the early stages of the battle, Jin-Woo's agility would give him a significant edge. Okay, this is where we're going to really make it more complicated. Army versus army. Both Jin-Woo and Gaburo have armies at their disposal. Jin-Woo's shadow army is practically limitless and consists of powerful beings like Beru, who can take on entire armies by themselves. Gaburo's army, on the other hand, is smaller but consists of highly specialized and powerful monsters. In a direct clash, Jin-Woo's shadow army would likely overwhelm Gaburo's forces due to the sheer numbers and the raw power of his elite shadows. However, Gaburo's ability to enhance and evolve his army over time could pose a long-term threat. Magic and skills. Both characters have an impressive arsenal of magic and skills. Jin-Woo's magic tends to be more straightforward and combat-focused, whereas Gaburo's abilities are more diverse due to his absorption abilities. Gaburo's ability to absorb skills and magic means that the longer the fight goes on, the more dangerous he becomes. Jin-Woo, however, has a mastery of over few incredibly potent skills, such as his assassination skills and the sheer destructive power of his Shadow Monarch abilities. Jin-Woo's superior control of his powers gives him an edge in the short term. Now, both Sung Jin-Woo and Gaburo have incredible endurance and regenerative abilities. Jin-Woo's system allows him to recover from severe injuries quickly. He has a near infinite stamina. Gaburo, with his monstrous regeneration, can heal from wounds that would kill most creatures, and his evolution means he could potentially develop even faster healing as the battle progresses. This could lead to a stalemate in terms of endurance, with both fighters able to keep going well beyond normal limits. So, who would win in this battle between Sung Ji-Woo and Gaburo? Now, while Gaburo's adaptive evolution makes him an incredibly dangerous opponent, Sung Ji-Woo's overwhelming power, speed, and mastery over his shadow army give him a significant edge. In a short-term fight, Jin-Woo's superior combat abilities and the vast numbers of his army would likely overwhelm Gaburo before he could fully adapt. However, in a prolonged battle, if Gaburo managed to survive and evolve, he could potentially close the gap and even surpass Jin-Woo in certain areas. Ultimately, though, Jin-Woo's combination of power, intelligence, and the sheer scale of his abilities would likely lead him to victory. Gaburo's evolution is powerful, but Jin-Woo's ability to summon an endless army of shadows combined with his assassination techniques and incredible speed would make him the likely victor in this matchup. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in on today's episode of Power Struggles. Do you agree with our analysis? Could Gaburo pull off an upset and evolve to become stronger than Sung Ji-Woo? Let us know your thoughts on social media and share who you think would win in this epic showdown. Until next time, keep battling. Goodbye and good night, bang.